Yes, it's time for Darren Bent's Thinking Inside the Box, where former Premier League 100 club member and beach ball scorer Darren Bent takes a deeper look at some of the strikers in the Premier League. Let's start off by talking about Arsenal forward Kai Havertz, who scored a brace against his former side Chelsea last night. The German has now bagged 12 goals in all comps so far this season. Former Rangers striker Ali McCoy was back alongside Alan Brazil on the Breakfast Show this morning and said that Havertz is Arsenal's best option up top.
Havertz is actually grown into that role. He plays it really, really well. Not like an out-and-out number 9.
Can I be honest here? At half-time, right? I'm going to be honest to everyone. At half-time, I'm saying he's not clinical enough for me at half-time. Is that going to cost Arsenal the title? That they don't take the chance enough? And in the second half, bang, bang.
Well, he made a couple of poor choices. It was as simple as that. His 2 finishes were excellent.
They were. The first one was, I thought the pass Modegaard was sublime. The finish was brilliant.
So he's quicker than you think, you know.
Oh, no, I think he's quick. You know, his skill reminds me of Berbatov.
What?
His touch. His first touch. I know early on his first touch was appalling.
No one's touches like Berbatov.
No, I know that. But there was a couple of moments when he was on the right-hand side of the button and he pulled it out of the sky.
Do you know what, though? He's got that in him. And there are times where, because he's got that kind of laboured, languid kind of technique.
What was the second word there?
Languid, is it? Is that word?
Languid.
Is that
okay? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Laboured and languid kind of technique. it almost looks like they're not trying, but listen, he played well last night.
He did, yeah. Has he won everyone over? He's changed my mind.
Do you know what? I don't think he's won everyone over, and I still agree with what Alan said there. He's not clinical enough because he does miss chances and big opportunities, like where sometimes he'll pass when he should shoot, and then vice versa, he should shoot when he should pass. But I definitely think he's our best option in terms of the centre forward. Like, I like Gabriel Jesus. Great feet, can make things happen. Too inconsistent and spends a lot of his time outside the box, which really winds me up. Like, your goal scorer, get in there. But I think for Havertz, he'd be my first option centre forward every day of the week.
Well, it's interesting you say it because you've scored 82 goals now in the league, right? Which is the highest, 100 in all comps. Do you think still that Arsenal going forward need to sign an elite level forward in the summer?
Yeah, because there are games where Arsenal has been quite tight. And again, prime example happened a couple of weeks ago, last week. Bayern Munich, second leg. It's really tight. No one really stepped up to create anything, scored a goal. And you think, if you had that one player that you know guaranteed that can get you goals, even when the games are tight like that, then I'd still go and sign one.
On a side note, I don't know if you saw this on Chelsea's official Twitter account. The admin refused to name Havertz as Arsenal's goal scorer. Do you see that?
Something embarrassing, that, no?
That is...
The guy won the Champions League.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you know what I mean? The guy won the Champions League.
He should be considered a legend at that club.
I mean, listen, I don't know about legend, but...
if you score the Champions League winner...
Okay, well, Divock Origi... Liverpool scored in the Champions League final.
I bet you never has to buy a pint in any pub in Liverpool.
I bet he's more cult hero than legend.
Okay. Yeah, but either way, right? Have respect.
Yeah, I thought that was it's a bit naughty, that a bit childish, petty. But Havertz played really well. And you know what? The roar again, where it's almost like because he was at Chelsea and it didn't quite go as well for him towards the end, even though he scored the winner in the Champions League final. It's like Arsenal fans are waiting for him to do something so they could really cheer. And when he scored the first goal, I mean, the roof nearly came off.
Let me ask you this, because you paid about £100 million for Declan Rice. Worth every penny.
Yeah.
65 for Kai Havertz. Worth it?
He's getting there. I still expect maybe his numbers to be up a little bit in terms of assists and that, but listen, he seems to be coming good at the right time. And fair play to him because he is playing well. He is. Really well.
I mentioned 82 goals for you, 75 for Liverpool, 76 for Man City. Man City got 2 games in hand on you. Could it come down to goal difference, do you think?
Yeah, but again, all eyes are on Manchester City because it's still in their hands. They still can win all their games and win the league. But all Arsenal and Liverpool can keep doing is winning their games, taking care of their business, because they let it slip Palace and Villa a couple of weeks ago. You take care of your business, just let the rest take care of
themselves. The nuts thing is, right, you've got 4 points ahead of them. They've got 2 games in hand. They win tonight, it's only 3 points. You lose or draw against Spurs.
They win 1 point.
Oh, yeah, sorry, 1 point.
Yeah.
You lose against Spurs, right? Or draw, they leapfrog you. Then all of a sudden everyone goes, well, Man City's now.
Yeah.
I really don't know who the favourites are. I mean, it's game by game, isn't it?
Arsenal have to win on Sunday. North London derby, have to.
Yeah, 2 o'clock that one.
I know, yeah.
Where are you going to watch that?
I will be...
West Wing?
No, I'll be at Premier League. I'm working Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. That won't be fun, will it?
Yeah, of course.
You working on the game?
No, I'm doing the weekend wrap.
Okay, fine.
On the Sunday.
How's it go?
Yeah, I'm working on the weekend wrap.
Weekend as well, yeah. Brighton hosts Man City, as we were alluding to in the Premier League. That's tomorrow night, live and exclusive on talkSPORT from 8. The Seagulls have only scored 5. Wow, only 5 goals in their last 10 games. That's appalling, isn't it? And they had problems. Do you remember when Potter was there?
Mm-hmm.
The one problem they had was they couldn't score goals. As an attacking unit, right, they were clinical at one point this season, but the goals have now dried up. What do you think has happened to them?
It's a bit of a tough one because when you look at Brighton, they play some really, really nice stuff, don't they? Some good football. They've had key injuries. I think Matoma, him being out, has been huge. Evan Ferguson spent a bit of time out. I think Welbeck spent a bit of time out as well. But still, I mean, it just feels like all of a sudden Brighton, the second half of the season, just hasn't gone well. They struggled winning games after Europe. They've gone out of Europe, and it's almost like they're ambling towards the finish line. They've not got their foot down. Because at one point, I'm thinking, do you know what? They could finish inside the top 6.
Yeah, me too.
If they keep going, they'll finish inside the top 6. They're almost ambling towards the finish line this season. So I think if you ask Brighton fans, with the injuries, I think it's been a really disappointing end to the season.
I want to ask you about a player you mentioned there, Evan Ferguson. Only 6 goals this season. I know he's been injured, but he's not been the first name on that team sheet. Last year, everyone thought he was going to be the next £100 million player from Brighton. What's happened to him? Why hasn't it really kicked on for him?
Again, he's been one of those where he's had injuries, hasn't he? I mean, not the emergence, but when they signed João Pedro, I remember he's better than I thought. Like, I always knew he was good, João Pedro, but he's better than I thought. He's been injured the last 3, Evan Ferguson as well, and his form has been a bit patchy. But when you're a young player, I mean, he's 19 years old, and when you play that position, you have patches in your career where you go, everything you touch goes in, and then you have periods where you're thinking, am I ever going to score again?
Yeah,
it just happens. It's part of his development.
I really like him. I still believe in him.
Oh no, listen, he's got all the attributes, but again, he's learning off someone like Danny Welbeck, who's still playing really well. You've got João Pedro, so it's competition, but listen, it'll come good. Evan Ferguson, because I'm a big fan of his as well.
Finally, let's have a little chat about this man.
Isak far post, turns it in brilliantly, in off the post, the cross was almost behind him, and Isak somehow stretched with his right foot to steer it in.
Yes, what would you like me to pay?
Well, I was going to say, I get the feeling Newcastle need to move on. £100 million player. We talked about Bruno Guimaraes earlier on. Isak's in that category.
Give me him.
I mean, there'll be uproar if he was allowed to leave.
I get it, but one of their big hitters they're talking about has got to go, and that might be Guimaraes, Isak, Botman. Even though Botman's done, I think he's done a big cruciate injury now. So
I think he's a fantastic defender.
Yeah, but he's been playing with that knee injury before he did the cruciate.
Yeah, I know.
And also they knew about the injury and still let him play on. But that's a different story.
Is madness.
But I think if Arsenal can get Isak, if I had the choice, and Bruno's a fantastic player, give me Isak.
Could he be the missing link for you?
Isak.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he could stay, you wouldn't have to play him every single game.
He's fantastic, isn't
Some of the goals he scored this season.
And then what do you do? So let's just say, right, you've got a big game against Man City.
Yeah.
And you've got Isak's fit.
Yeah.
Everyone's fit. So Thomas Partey's fit. Kai Havertz is fit as well. Where's Kai Havertz go?
I mean, he might. I mean, no, he doesn't play. Kai Havertz doesn't play because you go Isak down the middle.
Yeah.
Saka, Trossard and Martinelli on the left.
Yeah.
Partey holds. Declan moves into that 8.
And
Odegaard doesn't play.
He doesn't play, does he?
But Havertz.
But that's a nice problem to have, right?
It is, yeah. But even maybe bringing Havertz off the left. Because Trossard's been good, but a little bit inconsistent. Martinelli's form this season hasn't been good.
Do you see Trossard as a starter when everyone's fit?
He can be, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got such good technique.
I know he has. I know.
Such good technique. And scores big goals, by the way.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Isak, I'd love to have
How
him.
much would you pay for Isak?
80 to 100. Don't you remember when he put Van der Ven on skates?
Yeah.
And then, and then who else did it to him? Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
About a couple of minutes later.
That was awful, though, wasn't it? Don't lie, you can't laugh at that.
But no, yeah, Isak, 80 to 100 million.
That was Ben's thinking inside the box.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.